seem like common sense, but actually, when you contextualize it, it actually makes it a lot simpler. Like one of the things that we did in acting class, what you have to do with any character and any piece, any script, is you have to break down what's his motivation and what's the tactics that they use to get what they're trying to get. And what I found was that that's really how you would define a person. I think a person is what they want and how they're going to get it. Very simple. You want to go to heaven? You follow God and Christ, and you put it in His hands, since it is in His hands. Essentially, as far as like you as a person, aside from the identity of Christ, as far as your personality, it can be summed up in what you want and how you go about getting it. And so, like, now it makes sense when I think about things like obviously when you sin, I realize, well, that's inconsistent with my motivation. That's inconsistent with my goal. That was a poor tactic, I went about getting something that was not my motivation, And so, it's even doubled over in chess was, you use the same language, which is tactics. You use a fork to gain material, you gain material to win the game. How would you go about being Christian? Not saying being born again, but the Bible says that, the Lord chooses you. Works are not what you do to get into heaven. Works are a sign that you're going to heaven. Works are a sign that you're one of God's, that you're one of the elects. So whenever you do works that are outside of that, you're being inconsistent with your identity and being inconsistent with who you are. And so now when I draw up a character will have a desire, they'll have something they want. And you can tell good acting and bad acting by this, is do their tactics make sense to achieve what they want? If a person wants something in a scene, you can tell when they don't really want it. Like we'll see people sometimes improv scenes. And one was that they had to blackmail somebody for money. The ultimate goal was money. That was the motivation. But then you see the people play it out and they forget the motivation. They forget why they were doing it and just kind of get caught up in the scene itself, And it didn't play out like it really would in real life, like somebody blackmailing somebody, because in real life, those motivations are very real, very true. You really want that money and you're going to do everything in your power to get it.
You're going to be very convincing.
Very convincing.
You say all this, and of course I know that is our human nature. That's all of us, whether we're elect, Christian, heathen, or whatever. Well, it doesn't matter what you call yourself, because it's what you do. But what you do is not really even up to you. It's God has ordained everything.
Yeah.
So there's no. So what we see is the result. I mean, we have to look at our life and go, that's where the fear comes in. If I'm doing things inconsistent, which Christians will, sinners,
Well, certainly will,
they're going to sin.
But the point is it just pointed out the illogicalness, not just pointed it out, but like really makes you think, okay, well, I won't do that again because it's totally inconsistent,
The fear, by fear of the Lord, men depart from evil. So there's no other way from departing from evil but being afraid of going to hell, which would be a motive. No, not to go to hell.
The motive is not to go to hell. And then everything you do that is to facilitate
or please God, if you believe in Him and you believe He has this power and it all lies within. It's like any king, subject with any king. If he's going to kill you, you are going to be pleasing to him. If he's a righteous king, you are very fortunate.
Yeah.
If he's an evil king, you're,
another thing is that, like, I think is that, like, it's not that you can't do anything. There's nothing you can do. It's that, I mean, it is that you can't do anything, but that's why you go to Jesus,
Well, and what you're saying though is the things that you can do are those things that He has given you the capability, the
Yeah.
intelligence to carry out. All the glory goes to Him, and you get none.
That reminds me of a quote that I just put on my Facebook favorite quotes recently. Was somebody said, you know, don't be, they said don't be proud. They said talent is God given. They said fame is people given. So don't be, boastful. And then they're like, conceit is self given. Be careful.
That's good. And true, too, because our worst enemy is not the world.
It's us.
It's ourselves. I know
Spurgeon,
I
yeah.
am mine.
In high school, we were asked to choose one word to describe ourselves. I said conceited.
That's funny.
Everybody left.
Left or laughed?
Oh, left or
Everybody
right.
left. Just sat there.
Just got up and walked out.
That's it, Tom. That's it.
That's hilarious. You know, it was kind of shocking the other day, Tom, when Corey was sitting here and he fast forwarded past that part. And I was like, why'd you cut yourself off? He goes, because I can't stand watching. He goes, I'm so, what'd he say?
Egotistical?
Is that what he said?
He said something like that to me.
Yeah. You could tell he was almost sick with himself. He said, I'm so arrogant. That's what he said. He said, I'm so arrogant. I can't, like he couldn't watch it. And I thought, because we tease him a lot because he is always, the greatest and the best.
Yeah.
And I know.
just had those habits so solidified over his whole life. I don't know, it's kind of strange, but I don't really hold it against him too much.
Well, because we all have our own.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
Did you
possess
do that?
something that we can't see, everybody else can.